Matt coming back with another crypto video here. Today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin mining and the consumption of the energy. But before we get into it, could you please Mike Tyson the like and subscribe button? So here's an article from Newsweek back in 2017. Bitcoin mining on track to consume all of the world's energy by 2020. You don't even have to read this article because now it's 2023. We know this is not the case. It shows an example of an article that's not accurate, whether that was intentional, a lack of research, or they just had an objective from the beginning. Shows that anytime, like if you read the New York Times, just think about how they wrote a fluff piece about Sam Bankman-Fried right after the big FTX collapse. So they're making sure that he's sleeping all right and playing video games when people lost billions of dollars. So that doesn't mean they're not going to have some accurate information. You just always want to question what they're doing in their articles, and you can see that sometimes it's just completely ridiculous. This is not even close to being accurate. We're past this time frame. So this article, this author, they kind of look like morons basically. But at the end of the day, you want to do your own research. You want to look at some people talking about how Bitcoin mining energy usage is bad, and then look at people who are saying the opposite side. So in some big news today, Europe's first spot Bitcoin ETF is going live. Eventually, the United States SEC will get in line, and that'll happen. But let's jump back to the mining. This is it's a little old, but this is a Darin Feinstein tweet here. So responding to Bitcoin Energy FUD, and this is June of last year, so it's a year old. A little bit's changed, but not so much. Any environmentalist that says Bitcoin energy is a global problem is lying, uninformed, or intellectually confused. The global Bitcoin network uses just 16 basis points of the world's energy, 16 out of 100 of 1%, an inconsequential amount. Global energy FUD. Bitcoin mining energy uses a total versus total global energy use, 154,750 terawatt hours versus 247 terawatt hours energy consumed by Bitcoin mining on the world's electric grid. Global Bitcoin mining consumes about 0.16%. We're just going to run through this thread. Knowing that Bitcoin accounts for just 16 basis energy points, it is impossible to comprehend the World Economic Forum and Newsweek predictions in 2017, which stated the Bitcoin network is on track to consume all the world's energy by 2020. 99.984% incorrect. And so here's a picture of that Newsweek article I was showing you. The World Economic Forum was sharing it. And one reason was the decentralized network like Bitcoin that's trustless. No one controls it, controlled by just all the miners, all the nodes around the world, is a threat to what the World Economic Forum stands for. So the WEF and Newsweek relied on data complied from 2015 to 2017 that ignored chip efficiencies. The problem with that is today Bitcoin is 41,000 times more efficient than it was in 2009 and 400 times more efficient than it was when the first ASICs were introduced. So there's incentive for Bitcoin miners, one, to use renewable energy, to go to places where there's a demand for energy users. It's not so simple. Sometimes the energy companies have extra energy, and if no one uses it, it goes wasted. There's a lot of wasted energy. So Bitcoin miners is technology intensive and has increased 58x in energy over 8 years. And so this shows you that it started off with CPU mining back in 09. So you could just use your laptop back in 09, your computer, and then it's progressively getting more difficult, but the miners are getting more efficient. So you can see the efficiency. Bitcoin mining is 5,814% more efficient over the last 8 years, and it's only going to be getting more efficient. In addition to the total energy used globally being inconsequential, every year the world wastes 50,000 terawatt hours of energy. The global energy wasted could power over 200 Bitcoin networks. Every year in the United States, 6,800 terawatt hours of energy is wasted. The wasted energy in the United States can power over 27 global Bitcoin networks. In terms of the Bitcoin network's carbon footprint, the global Bitcoin network emits just 6 basis points of the USA's carbon footprint. Estimated CO2 production by use, billion metric tons, generated in the United States in 2020, generated by Bitcoin mining in 2021. Globally, the carbon emitted by Bitcoin is also inconsequential. Estimated CO2 production by use, millions metric tons. This is human, transportation by road, agriculture, iron, steel, livestock, manure, all digital tech, agricultural soil, crop burning, forest land. It shows that Bitcoin's way down here. So we know WEF and Newsweek predictions are outrageously wrong. Both the global carbon footprint and energy footprints are inconsequential. If you shut the entire Bitcoin network off, there would be no global effect. So the real issue must be what Bitcoin provides. The Bitcoin network provides banking to 8 billion people, private property to 8 billion people, eliminates stakeholder power, accounting technology becomes unalterable, provides the first immutable on-chain truth. The people who are exploiting the last system are many and will not go quietly. And you don't have to take Darin Feinstein's word. I just figured that was a pretty good resource to give you that perspective. You can go read the New York Times if you want to. You can go read this 2020 or the 2020 prediction by Newsweek, which is completely ridiculous. And just if you're getting into Bitcoin and you're scared about the energy usage, just do some research on both sides of that thought process. And then also, like at the end of what Darin's talking about, Bitcoin is one of the most powerful computer networks, if not the most powerful computer network. No one entity or one person controls it. So apparently the Bitcoin network does 209 quintillion calculations per second and is the world's most secured computer network with no one entity controlling it. So let me know what you think. I think that the fact that it's a way that you can store your own Bitcoin, no one can take it from you, and you can send that Bitcoin to anyone in the world. And people are working on things like Fedimint, Lightning Network to try to make it more transactional on the micro scale. But right now, it's a powerful computer network, and it provides decentralized money that is got it written in the code that there'll only ever be 21 million with 19.5 roughly out. That means that there's going to be low inflation. Estimated 3 to 7 million Bitcoin have been lost. So when you're counting the power consumption, you got to also look at what this provides for humanity. And if you look at Argentina today, the peso hit super low against Bitcoin. So right here you could see Bitcoin versus the Argentina peso. So this is the last 5 years, and you can see what they're having huge inflation problems. One of their presidential candidates that won the primary supports Bitcoin. So Bitcoin should not only be viewed by first world countries that have fairly stable inflation and a stable economy. Look at Argentina. If you've been holding your savings in Bitcoin instead of the peso, you'd be thankful right now. And you could have family in America, you could have family in Europe send you money if you lived in Argentina with Bitcoin network. No one would have to give you authorization. You could just do that. If you look at all these factors, second, third world countries, even in the United States, but these other unstable economies with unstable currencies, which a lot are expected to collapse in the near future, Bitcoin offers them a chance to have that digital ownership. And the Bitcoin network is powered by all those computers running those calculations, doing the mining, all the nodes, and no one entity controls it. It's a threat to the central banks. And I think you just got to keep in mind when you see articles like this, and you just got to do your own research, come to your own conclusion, look at what Bitcoin offers people, what it offers humanity, and the fact that the inflation is getting close to be very low, should be getting lower than the inflation of gold soon, and you can't get more than 21 million, and that's expected to happen in 2140. So let me know what you think, and have a good day.